For decades, people around the world have reported seeing unidentified flying objects. Most sightings get dismissed as weather balloons, drones, or simple misidentifications. But some footage is so compelling, so detailed, and so unexplainable that even experts struggle to provide rational explanations. Here are 30 of the most convincing UFO sightings ever caught on camera. On 20 January 1996, the Varginha UFO Incident, in Minas Gerais, often called Brazil's Roswell, refers to gained international attention after numerous residents reported seeing a large cigar-shaped object trailing white smoke moving erratically in the sky. Later that same day, 3 young women, Katia, Liliana, and Valkyria, claimed to have encountered a small humanoid creature crouching near a wall in an empty lot. They described it as about 5 feet tall, with brown oily skin, a large head, huge red eyes, and 3 bony protrusions on its skull. Terrified, they ran away, and the story quickly spread through the community. Some locals claimed they saw armed personnel capturing a creature, loading it into trucks, and transporting it first to a local hospital, and later to a military facility. Despite the official explanation, the Varginha case remains one of the most debated UFO incidents in the world. Over the years, witness testimonies, alleged leaked photos, and unverified stories of secret government footage have kept the mystery alive. Do you believe the Varginha witnesses actually encountered a real extraterrestrial being? Let me know if you think yes, like me. But Varginha was only the beginning, because elsewhere in the world, even stranger objects were being caught on camera. This unusual UFO was spotted by a couple driving near Valdivia, Chile, who managed to capture a quick glimpse before passing it. At first glance, it might look like a cartoonish or artificial object. However, when locals heard about the sighting and went to investigate, the object had already vanished. Its sudden disappearance raised questions, but to this day none remain answered. Yet what happens when these sightings multiply, appearing in groups rather than alone? Next. A pair of travelers recorded this scene while spending their vacation near the coast of Puerto Rico. After spotting the first unknown object, they were shocked when what looked like a group of similar shapes lifted from the cliffs and rushed into the sky. Even so, before assuming anything extreme, it is important to remember that nothing unusual has been reported in the area since then. So even though the footage is surprising, it seems we are safe for the moment. A fisherman noticed something moving around his boat and quickly started filming it. It appeared to be a strange shifting creature that could slide through tight spaces, which is exactly what it seemed to be doing. The fisherman, showing real courage, reached out and touched its hand, and surprisingly, it pulled back slowly as if it did not expect anything to push back. Some people believe it is a type of animal, while others insist it must be something not from our world. Now see what happens when something chooses to approach much closer. A recent viral video from early 2024 shows 2 tall human-shaped figures standing on a hilltop on the Brazilian island of Ilha do Mel, which led some viewers to claim they were around 10 feet tall and possibly not human. The footage spread quickly online because the terrain is difficult to reach, adding to the mystery. However, there is no verified evidence that the figures were aliens, and reports note that the height was only an estimate based on camera perspective. In fact, a Brazilian influencer later stated he was one of the figures in the video, explaining that the angle made him appear much larger than he actually is. No reliable sources support claims that the figures disappeared when filmed, or were later spotted near a house, so those details appear to be speculation rather than documented events. A man in Brazil filmed what seemed to be a humanoid figure moving across his neighbor's roof after hearing strange banging sounds throughout the day. At first, the figure appeared unaware that it was being recorded and stayed in place for a brief moment. Then something startled it, and it quickly vanished. It does not resemble any known animal, and it seems far too thin to be someone in a costume. The unsettling part is that whatever caused it to flee also appears unusual, almost like another creature. But since the person recording was frightened, we were not able to see it any better. Did you like this video? Don't just stop at the like button. If you're watching on your phone, hit that hype too. It helps the channel out, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more awesome content. The next encounter might make you double-check your own roof. A man was recording in his backyard when he heard an odd sound and turned around, catching what looked like an alien figure pulling itself up from his roof. The moment startled him so much that he nearly slipped, giving the figure a chance to escape and vanish from view. This took place in Mexico back in 2009, and even though the clip has circulated online for years, no one has fully disproven it. A man driving near Kingsland in Ohio noticed a metallic flash out of the corner of his eye. When he zoomed in, he saw a saucer-shaped object moving across the sky at a surprisingly low height. It was strange because you would expect something like that to stay much higher or blend in with the clouds. As he continued through the neighborhood, he briefly lost track of it, but later spotted it turning toward the woods behind the houses. The angle of its tilt made it seem as if it might be preparing to land, but since he could not tell exactly where it went, we are left with very few details. During a child's birthday party, unusual noises began coming from outside, drawing everyone's attention. The kids quickly said they spotted something strange through the window, which made the person recording the party step outside with the camera. To their surprise, they ended up filming a tall green figure with long arms calmly walking across the street. That is certainly one unexpected way to liven up a birthday celebration. This footage was captured recently in Colorado, and it is worth a closer look before assuming it is just a drone show or a skydiver with flares. The way the object twists and shifts in the air does not resemble anything we typically build. What makes it even more unusual is the moment it releases two glowing rings, almost as if it is sending a signal. Some witnesses believe they may have recorded a huge otherworldly presence briefly observing Earth, while others are convinced it could be an alien craft. Do you think the object releasing glowing rings in the Colorado footage was displaying controlled, intelligent behavior? Let's discuss in the comments section. In 1994, residents in Uruguay reported seeing a flying saucer in the sky, but with no solid evidence to support the claims, authorities concluded it was likely a local prank and closed the case. Years later, a video appeared online that was said to show the same mysterious object drifting over a neighborhood, almost as if it were surveying the area. As the craft moved out of view, the cameraman's thumb briefly blocked the shot. The clip has been circulating on the internet ever since, yet no one knows who originally uploaded it, leading some to wonder why the source has never come forward. If a UFO wanted to land without drawing attention, a remote rainforest in Colombia might seem like the ideal spot. That may have been the case here, though the craft did not realize it was being filmed as it hovered above the trees. A nearby tour guide managed to capture the moment, showing the object suspended in place without any noticeable movement. Some experts suggest the craft could be shifting between dimensions, which might explain why it appears motionless and difficult for us to see clearly. This white cloud drifted over a city in the Philippines, but a closer look reveals something dark and smooth partially hidden inside it. While some might blame the odd shape on weather conditions, that does not account for a black ring hovering so distinctly above the cloud. The strangest part comes from another angle filmed from higher up, where the object looks much more like a craft than a natural formation. Viewers have even pointed out what appears to be a figure moving on it, adding fuel to theories about gravity-defying beings. On January 16, 2024, a strange metallic ring appeared in the sky over St. Petersburg, Russia, and stayed visible for only a few minutes as it shifted and seemed to merge with another ring. It was surrounded by glowing orbs, which startled several onlookers when the ring began blinking rapidly, almost as if it were signaling something nearby. Oddly enough, a similar ring was later recorded above a neighborhood in Texas, far from Russia. The two sightings quickly stirred up online theories claiming the United States is working with aliens to take over the world, which is quite a stretch. In 2016, drone footage captured near Beaver, Utah, shows a very fast white object crossing the frame, which has made the video a topic of discussion among UFO enthusiasts. The object appears only briefly and without obvious wings or lights, but analysts point out that such sightings can result from insects or debris near the camera, coupled with the drone's motion. Although some online commentators treat the clip as unusual, there is no confirmed evidence that it depicts an alien craft or mysterious vehicle. The footage has been widely shared and analyzed online, but experts lean toward ordinary explanations rather than extraterrestrial ones. Something unusual is hovering far above Los Angeles, and no one seems to know what it is. In the middle of the day, a humanoid-shaped figure can be seen floating high over the city, at roughly a kilometer in the air. It shows no wings, no parachute, and it is not falling. It simply stays there, almost as if it is watching everything below. The outline looks very much like a person, but the way it keeps its position is anything but ordinary. It is too steady to be a balloon, and too upright to be any kind of drone. If this really is a reconnaissance device, it seems to be using technology we have never seen before. Something unusual appeared in the night sky over Mexico, and the moment was captured with impressive clarity. While someone was outside enjoying the evening, they noticed a strange object overhead and managed to film it in high definition. The object moves smoothly and steadily, with a soft flicker of light along its sides that makes it seem unlike anything man-made. Its shape, its curves, and the way it glides all suggest it is operating under its own set of rules. Whatever it is, it certainly does not resemble an ordinary aircraft, and it may be one of the clearest UFO recordings to date. Something unusual has appeared in the skies over Los Angeles. It does not blink, shake, or drop in altitude. Instead, it moves as if it has a purpose. Its shape is hard to define, and the smooth way it drifts suggests control rather than coincidence, leaving even skeptics unsure what to make of it. When the camera zooms in, the object holds its position, almost as if it is observing the ground below. If extraterrestrial visitors wanted to attract attention, footage like this raises the question of whether they are finished waiting for people to take them seriously. While watching a Blue Angels show, someone noticed something completely unexpected in the sky. A dark object was hovering above the Fairmont Hotel, steady and silent. The witness zoomed in as much as the camera allowed, revealing something that looked nothing like a drone or any familiar aircraft. It moved smoothly, holding its place as if following an unseen path. Its shape was unusual, somewhere between a triangle and a disc, but clearly solid. Filmed near Targoviste City Hall in Romania, this clip appears to show a saucer sitting calmly in an open field. It is broad daylight, with no shaky night vision, and right there in the frame, something is moving. A figure walks toward the craft as if it belongs there and knows exactly what it is doing. The clear humanoid shape, the timing, and the sharp view of the saucer make it stand out. This is not your typical grainy, hard-to-see UFO clip. On the night of October 12, 2023, residents across Maceió, Brazil, were startled by the appearance of a large, glowing orange sphere hanging motionless above the sea. Videos recorded from neighborhoods such as Pajuçara, Ponta Verde, and the coastal area near Praia do Francês show an intense, reddish-orange light shining steadily against the dark sky, with no visible movement, noise, or trail. Witnesses reported that the object stayed in place for several minutes, brightening and dimming slightly as if pulsing. Some locals suggested it might have been a maritime flare, but authorities from the Brazilian Navy and the fire department did not issue any distress alerts or confirm flare activity at the time. Others speculated about atmospheric phenomena, space debris, or even a drone, though none of these explanations matched the object's size, brightness, or long period of stillness. As dusk settles over Mount Hood, something unusual begins to approach. Seen from the window of an airplane, a bright object appears in the distance, moving in a way no normal aircraft would. When the passenger zooms in, the object seems to drift closer to the mountain, raising even more questions for anyone watching. Then, with an unsettling smoothness, it slips into the side of Mount Hood and vanishes as if passing through an unseen doorway. The Southern California Meteor. Something unusual appeared in the early morning sky over Southern California. At first glance, it looked like a meteor, bright, fast, and lighting up the darkness like a burst of fireworks. But it was not falling or breaking apart the way a meteor normally would, which made the sight even more puzzling. Then things took an even stranger turn. The object seemed to slow and began glowing more intensely, almost as if it had a destination in mind. Meteors do not behave that way, and this one moved with a level of control that made it look as though it was on a deliberate mission. February 15, 2025, Los Angeles. A strange object hangs in the sky. It moves with an unsettling level of control. The object stays suspended, drifting in a manner that does not fit anything we would call man-made. Is it a UFO, or simply another mystery we are not meant to solve yet? Whatever it is, it feels like a small piece of a much bigger puzzle we still do not understand. It makes you wonder if there is more happening above us than we realize. In 2023, A man named Jeff Kessler went camping in the woods and began to feel like something was watching him. So he took out his camera just in case. After hearing rustling outside his tent, he stepped out to look and spotted a tall figure nearby. Before he could keep filming, the recording cut off, and Kessler was never seen again. Later on, explorers found his phone and recovered the footage, which once stabilized, showed a strange green humanoid shape. Many people believe this creature may have taken Kessler with it, whether by accident or intention. In April 2008, a homeowner in Houston, Texas, pulled out his camera after hearing a strange buzzing sound coming from his backyard. A saucer-shaped object appeared to be hovering above a house just one street over, giving him a clear view without revealing his location. After a few seconds of stillness, the UFO seemed to shift into motion and glide across the neighborhood. There appears to be some kind of shaft or base underneath it, suggesting this was not an ordinary aircraft but one that may have had someone or something inside at that moment. On July 17, 2003, Stan Romanek and his wife set up a camcorder pointed at their window and ended up recording something that frightened them deeply. A small gray figure with large black eyes, shaped much like a classic alien, appeared and peered inside. It tilted its head and moved in a way that seemed almost human. When Stan walked toward the window to get a closer look, the figure quickly pulled back and then vanished. Even though there is limited visual proof, Stan insists this was not the first time an extraterrestrial visited him, nor the last. These stealthy alien crafts were spotted flying low over the central Nevada desert, and were recorded by an anonymous witness. The three objects appeared to be moving one after another, almost as if they were heading to the same location for some kind of secret gathering. But whatever calm meeting they seemed to be having was suddenly interrupted when another craft arrived, with two more trailing behind it. If you study the footage closely, the crafts resemble USAF F-22 Raptors, which has sparked rumors that the United States government is aware of alien visitors and is prepared to use the Air Force if necessary. Some people even think the person who uploaded the video might be in the Air Force and wanted to expose hidden activity, which could explain why they chose to remain unnamed. Since we hardly ever travel to Antarctica, it is impossible to know what might be hiding there. This UFO seems to be taking full advantage of that isolation. Watch how confidently it moves at a low altitude, almost as if it knows nothing can interfere with it. The most common theory is that a motion-detecting camera was left behind by an expedition team. While some people think the footage could be edited, there is one detail that suggests it might be real. The object leaves a clear trail behind it, which means something solid is moving through the air and affecting the surroundings. These 30 sightings represent just a fraction of the unexplained phenomena captured on camera worldwide. Each piece of footage raises profound questions about what shares the skies, and perhaps even the planet. What makes these cases particularly compelling is the consistency across different times, places, and witnesses. The descriptions, the behaviors, and the craft designs all show remarkable similarities, despite the witnesses having no contact with each other. Skeptics will always find reasons to doubt, and that's healthy. What's the most convincing piece of evidence presented here? Have any similar sightings been experienced or heard about? Share thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming journeys. And if you enjoy exploring credible UFO sightings, check out my video of the 1994 incident at Ariel School in Zimbabwe, where over 60 children saw a silver flying object hurtling down from the sky in broad daylight, landing just meters from where they were playing. Click on the card displayed on the screen now. Enjoy the video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.